Completely empty engine bay. Della has been awesome over here. Transmission, the bell housing, over to this engine. Whoa. Unfortunately, I have some very bad news. Hello and welcome to Gearhead 704. I'm Matt, and in case you missed the last upload, you should definitely watch it because we are in the middle of a series of replacing the engine in my FoxBody Convertible. You can see it's completely empty engine bay, no, not even a transmission. All that is over there. So let me walk up there. Yeah, last time we got all this out, and I'm actually doing this in a single day. I'm filming all the videos today, and otherwise it would be really long if I put them in one video, so that's why. But this motor is a stroker. Again, in case you missed the last one, we're putting in this one right here. Heads cam intake, trick flow setup. And yeah, I'm pretty excited because this is my baby. I've owned this car since 2004. So what is that? 16 years now I've owned this car. Used to be white. It's been transformed entirely on the channel. And I'm just really excited about this series. I'm gonna be driving this hopefully at the end of the night. So we'll see how it works out. I am at Fox Mustang Restoration. That's where I got a lot of the parts for the build. I'm here with Matt and Della. They are helping me out today. You will see both of them later in the video. Matt is the co-owner. Della also works here. And we're having a lot of fun hanging out today, getting this engine in the car. So we are a bit on a time crunch. Don't want to run out of time today. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Oh, but what we are doing today, the main thing is we've got to take off the transmission, the bell housing, all the exhaust, you know, the H pipe, and the front accessories. All that has to come off. Then we can pick up this motor and we're gonna transfer all that over to this engine. Then once that's done, we're gonna drop the car right on top of the engine, hook everything up and fire it up. So I'm pretty excited about this. I've mentioned that a lot in the series. So here we go. Let me go ahead and jump into it and we'll see how far we get. Whoa. Interrupting the time lapse here, disassembly is going well. In case you didn't know, I do have a T56 Magnum, a 6-speed transmission, pretty awesome transmission. It's great for highway cruising. But yeah, so got that off, got the whole flywheel off. We'll show you guys the clutch is under here. Oh, if I don't fall. There's a clutch. It looks pretty good. It's basically a brand new clutch, not a lot of miles on it. I know it's got less than, I believe, 8,000. So clutch is good. We're gonna be able to reuse that. Della has been awesome over here, removing all the accessories on the front. So she's still working hard on that. So next thing I've got to do is I've got those new hoses I talked about in the last video. Gonna go ahead and start putting all the hoses on. That's already hooked me up here with this. What's this?
These are battery cables.
Oh, okay. I do need those as well.
Yeah, we'll be bolting those on before we put it on the member.
Okay, cool. So that's what I'm gonna be doing next, and we're getting really close, guys. Almost everything is off of there that we need. I never put a TFI module, or the ignition module rather, I never put that on this engine. And so Della right now, she's just taking those bolts off because we have a Ford one. Again, like I mentioned in the last video, we're gonna put on there. Moving right along, I do think we're gonna get it back in the car and start it up today. So might not happen in this video, we'll see. We'll see how the video goes. Another thing you guys might not know if you're newer to the channel is I have a Dakota digital cluster inside the car here, and it's kind of dark over there, but I will show you that later. So what I got to do now, when I originally put this engine together, it was just going to use, you know, the factory style gauges, right? So I've got to take both of these out. This is actually an original one. I was going to replace it anyway. I actually bought the replacement, but don't need it. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and remove, this is my oil pressure and this is my water. Going to stick these in there. So still moving along, replace this, and you know, not too long, it'll be put back together. So we'll see, just hang in there. Well, look at that. The old engine is up and hoisted in the air. So we're not going to use too much else on this. We've got most of what we need off. I do actually need the crank pulley. The reason being is mine was a underdrive pulley. I don't want to use that. So this is going to have to come off. And then the only other thing we might need, maybe a couple nuts and bolts, but pretty much almost everything is off of this one. And I do want to eventually find out what happened to this engine, what's wrong with it. I was talking about burning oil and losing coolant for a while on this one, and I'm going to disassemble it right here on the channel, go through exactly what was wrong with the stroker, and then of course we're going to rebuild it for this thing that's a work in progress. If you saw a bunch of my older videos, like way back, because I've been throwing up old videos on Facebook lately, I call them Throwback Thursday videos. I've actually been having this problem for a long time. I think one of the very first videos that talked about losing coolant, probably the very first video, the low coolant light came on and having to put oil in it. So this has probably been a problem for me for quite a while, and I'm really curious to find out what it is. So eventually I will have the answer, right? We're gonna dig through this and find out. But anyway, right now I gotta keep moving, just working, putting a few last little things in, like my sensors here for the Dakota Digital, and yeah, moving right along. So I gotta stop talking to you guys and get back to work. All right, guys, time to put the crank pulley on. You saw Matt took that off the other engine there. These are actually 12 points, and so I'm gonna put a little bit of Loctite on them, and of course, I need a special socket, right? Kind of like the drive shaft bolt. So anyway, here we go. Oh man, y'all, it is late. It's been a while since I did an update. It's gotten dark on us. We did find a good use for 10 holes though. Matt's got the old stroker sitting here on the 10 hole. We didn't have a place to put it for now, so that's the old motor. Just got the new motor up on the hoist. Gave us some problems there. Matt was having a little trouble with, basically, I bought a very cheap engine stand, so this was giving us a bit of trouble, but engine's up here. Next thing we got to do is drop it on the K-member, then start bolting stuff back together. So we're still moving. You know, it does get dark a little early, but yeah, this is a little bit of setbacks, a little bit of problems. Anyway, Matt's doing work again, so I need to stop talking to you guys, help him out. We're getting there, we're getting there. There goes the chain, y'all. There goes the hoist. That was actually pretty quick. Got those motor mounts down. Matt was going so fast, I had to jump in and say, hey, let me do one. That's all right. We're just trying to get it done because it's late. So, but yeah, there she is. So now I guess next thing is to roll it over there and start connecting parts up, right?
You got it, man.
All right, get to it. Guys, another thing we had to do is we had to get a different flywheel because before I had a 331. It has a different balancer weight on it than my 306 or the 302 base does. So Matt here hooked me up. He had a new old stock flywheel that's gonna work with our 306 here. So there it is. Gonna start putting that on. You know, we'll move the thing over here and we're putting everything back on. I got my block plate. So, but this, I had to show you guys this. This is pretty cool. All right, guys, unfortunately, I have some very bad news. What happened was the flywheel we had, it was a NOS flywheel. We tried a couple others, but it turns out the flywheel we got was actually for a 4-speed, a single rail overdrive. It wasn't for a 5.0, and I can't use the flywheel I took off because it is a flywheel for a 331. 331 is balanced differently than a 302. 302 is a 50 ounce and 331 I think is 28 or 0, but anyway, it's definitely not 50. You can see we've got a different balancer here, or it's balanced differently. This ATI one's 28. So what was happening was, how we found out is the clutch was not lining up. Here, I found it for you guys to show you a little easier. This is for the 4-speed. When you're trying to line up the bolt holes, Matt's holding it there. They don't line up.
But yeah, there's like the best bed, and you can see.
Right, look.
Like the dowel pin holes lined up, and these are just barely off, and then the further out you go, the more off it is.
Yeah, look how bad that one right there is, guys. It doesn't work. This is we think it's for a 4-speed, right?
It's either a 4-speed, which also may be the same for like a 10-inch clutch instead of the 10.5, so that's probably what's going on.
So, unfortunately, we can't get another flywheel. It's too late at night, and that's what we need. So, we're to stop, guys. We can't go any further. Unfortunately, this happens sometimes. We checked it out, thought we were good. No, the flywheel, it was actually in the right box. Like I said earlier, it was a new old stock flywheel. But the thing is, we think that maybe the part was switched out because the flywheel that we pulled out of the new old stock box obviously was for the 4-speed, not for the T5. It can happen sometimes, and yeah, we're left with the wrong part. It's kind of frustrating, right? But I mean, it's just part of it. So we're at the end of the day, not gonna be able to finish the project. You can see we're very much in a half-done state. I mean, my whole K member's out, car's in the lift. You look over there, we did get pretty far today, right? And this has been a couple videos for you guys, but we were all ready to go, you know? We were right here. We were just about to bolt the flywheel on, and yeah, it happens. So that's where we're at. Gonna get a new flywheel, the right one, and pick this back up. For me, it'll be next week. For you guys, it will be the next video. Speaking of that, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button, especially because, you know, it'd make me feel good to see a lot of likes on this one since we didn't finish. If you're stopping in for the first time, please subscribe because I do upload 2 times a week, every Sunday and Wednesday. So whenever this video hits, I think it's gonna hit on Sunday. You should see the next video on Wednesday to find out how we made out with swapping the engine. And we are really close, guys. I think next time we'll get it. That's the only part that's really stopping us. And sometimes it's just one little part that stops you, you know? Just how it happens. So one other thing I did forget, guys, I had a timer going about how long it was going to take because we were going to see if we can do it in a day, and we got about 7.5 hours in. Ran into lots of little problems. I really didn't highlight them. We just kind of kept moving because we thought we were going to finish all the day. So that's about where we were at. Again, you can do it faster at home, but really considering me and Della first time kind of doing a lot of this work, Matt kind of showing us and videoing, 7.5 hours isn't too bad. So I wanted to throw that in there. Kind of forgot about that. Anyway, that's it. We'll see you next time here on Gearhead 704. Hello. You're fine. I can help you now too. Oh. Oh. I think I caught it. I think I caught it on video.
Was it recording? You want to take it off and redo it?
No. But basically the flywall, the flywall flew away, and that's the problem. We don't have a flywall.